Hey guys! Welcome to my channel, and if you're new here, my name's Tanya, welcome. If you're not, then welcome back. I have decided to do a makeup look today using warm and sparkly eyeshadows. It's going to be a reddish themed makeup look, kind of fall inspired, and if you want to see how it turns out, then just keep watching. Okay, so we're starting out with a clean, fresh face. I have already moisturized, and the first thing I'm going to do is be using a primer. This is the Revolution Conceal and Fix Mattifying Primer. It says shine-free makeup base with salicylic acid. I have decided to use a mattifying primer today because the foundation that I'm going to be using is a more of a dewy finish, and because I do have an oily T-zone, I thought that I would use a combination of these two. I am just applying the primer in my T-zone and where I feel like I need it the most. I don't typically apply it everywhere in my face. Next step is brows. I'm going to be using my current favorite, which is the NYX Eyebrow Powder Pencil in the shade Auburn. Because I'm going to be doing such a strong eye look today, I have decided to do my eye makeup first, and then when the eye makeup is done, I will go in and do foundation. This way, if I have any fallout, etc., it won't be a big issue. Just clean everything up and we're good to go. I am going to be doing a reddish, kind of burnt reddish, glittery eye look today, and I have decided to use a base from Maybelline Color Tattoo 24 Hour Eye Studio, and it is the color 05 Eternal Gold. I thought that maybe this would help bring out the shadows more and make them pop a little bit more. I'm going to be putting this as a base on mostly the mobile eyelid and then blend it out a tiny bit into the crease. This is not so much for color or pigment, it is more just for a base so that my eyeshadow has something to stick to. Unfortunately, I didn't have a product like this in a reddish tone, so I'm using what I have. Okay, and this is going to be quite a strong look today, so I want... Because this is going to be quite a strong eye look today and I'm working with reds, I don't want it to be too messy, so I'm actually going to take a bit of tape and place it on the eyelids just as a kind of a guide, so I have less to clean up later on. When using normal tape, what I suggest you do is stick it on the back of your hand, like so, and then just place it and remove it a few times. That way you get rid of a bit of the stickiness, and it is not so tugging and not so harmful on your eye afterwards. So basically I just followed my lower lash line and used it as an extension. And now I'm just pressing it on with my finger a bit. Right, tape is on. It feels a little bit weird, but now we're good to go. Today I will be using two eyeshadows from the brand Focallure, and the first one I'm going to start out with is the shade D04 and looks like this. It is a very fine milled reddish shade with a light gold sheen to it. I will be applying this shade with my finger to the first half of the mobile eyelid. Okay, so it's not as pigmented as I was actually hoping it would be. It's a very pretty shade though. Okay, on the outer half of the eye and the outer part of the eye, I'm going to be using the Focallure shade in the color D10. This is also a kind of darkish burnt reddish tone with a gold tinge to it, and I think this is going to be quite a bit more glittery than the first shade. So this eyeshadow seems to be a little bit more pigmented. Very, very similar to the first one, but a bit more pigmented. I have actually decided I'm going to use this shade, so the shade D10, all over the mobile eyelid, and I will use the first shade to blend everything up and out. Okay, and now going back to using the first shade, which is the shade D04, I'm going to be using a smaller blending brush and just blend out the edges using this shade. Okay, so I've decided I would like to darken it up a little bit on the outer corners, and because I don't have a darker shade of red in my collection, I'm going to be using the metallic eyeshadow from Trended Up in the shade 010. It is a darker metallic brown with a red tinge to it. Okay, now I'm going to be doing my eyeliner. I'm going to make a bit of a wing today, or attempt to do it. I'm going to be using the Essence Long Lasting Eye Pencil in the color 01 Black Fever. It says it is supposed to give you 18 hours of wear and also be waterproof. And because we still have the tape on, I can use it as a nice guide and don't have to worry too much about making a mess. Okay, so first I'm drawing on a pretty messy wing, and it's also a bit thicker than I usually do. I'm going to blend it out in a second, and it will hopefully then end up looking a little bit smoky. What is it about winged eyeliner or eyeliner in general that just always freaks me the heck out? I don't know what it is, and then I watch like a million YouTube videos and they're just like and everything's perfect, and with me it's like the stress every time. So just bear with me. I'm leaving the footage in so you can see how it can go right and maybe how it can go wrong. Now I'm going to take a little smudger tool. This is, it says Alicia da Silva on it, no idea where I got this. And I'm going to just blend out the line a little bit so it's more smoky and not so harsh. So now I'm going to take the tape off and have a look at what everything looks like so far. Okay, so far from a distance it kind of looks okay. But now for the moment of truth, let me zoom you in. Okay, so this is what it's looking like so far. Not as bad as I thought it would look. Next I'm going to be applying mascara. I'm going to be using the Maybelline Snap Mascara in 01 Pitch Black. Now I'm going to be taking the same Essence eyeliner pencil and lining the lower waterline. So those are the eyes done. Now we're going to do the foundation, and today I am using the NYX Bare With Me Tinted Skin Veil, and mine is in the shade Pale Light. I'm pretty sure this is the lightest shade there is. I would say very light coverage foundation, which doesn't bother me. I like it. I do also very often like a nice natural finish. It goes on very smoothly. Right, I'm going to go in with a tiny little bit more on the areas where I still feel I have a little bit too much redness around here and around my nose. And as always, I'm going to blend out the foundation with a makeup sponge. Well, I really like the finish of this foundation. It is a light coverage foundation, at least for me, and you can see the skin peeking through, but I really like it. And if you're not going for a full-on, full coverage foundation, then you might want to try this one out. Next step, concealer. Today I'm going to be using the Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Concealer, and it is in the shade C05. Alright, now we're going to do blush and highlight, and today I'm going to be using the duo from Catrice. It's called Caviar Gaucher. I have no idea how to pronounce that, so please bear with me. And it is in the shade C01 La Rose and La Orchidée, and it looks like this. The packaging is really cute. This blush is a warm kind of terracotta tone with a bit of shimmer to it, and it's very pigmented, so I'm just going to be using it with a stippling brush. It is one that I just bought very inexpensive at the drugstore. Okay, and now out of the duo I'm going to be using the highlight shade. It is a nice champagne shade. I'm just going to be using a regular highlighter brush for this. This is also one that I got very cheap, either from the drugstore or from Amazon, I'm not quite sure. Now I'm going to powder the under eyes and just throughout the T-zone very lightly, just to make sure that I don't get oily too quickly. I'm going to be using the Revolution Pro Skin Finish in the color Luminescence. Last but not least, I'm going to be applying lipstick, and today I have decided to use the brand L.O.V in the shade number 510 Sylvia's Coral, and it looks like this. It is also a nice terracotta reddish tone to go with the eye look and the rest of the makeup. Very pigmented. And so this is the finished look. I do like the way it came out, although I actually was hoping that the eyeshadows from Focallure would have been a little bit more pigmented. It's just a pity I didn't have a darker reddish base for the eyes, because I actually was planning on doing something a little bit bolder than this, but I still like the way it came out, and I think this is all part of makeup. Sometimes you just have to, like, you know, go with the flow and also work with what you have, and so I like it. I also think this makeup is good for people with fairer skin, but also for deeper skin tones, and for anyone who also has green eyes like I do. When I zoom you in, you'll see it makes your green eyes really pop, so that's a pro. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I did have a lot of fun doing it again, even though, like I said, eyeliner, ooh, still a bit of a challenge for me. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, then please subscribe to my channel. And other than that, all I can say is have a great evening and see you in my next video. Bye!